So, it's me, your favorite. But anyways, so I remember last time I was talking to you guys about the mother wound. And I remember that I did not particularly talk about how it manifested in men. So that's what this is about. It's about the mother wound in men. So I did, if I remember correctly, I did state in the video before that the mother wound there was more information about men rather than the way it manifests in daughters. But there are some, when I researched it, seems like they separated, but I guess some of it is, for me, it seems like it's not really. I feel like it can apply to both genders, but I don't know. It seems like they have a lot more information about how it manifests in men. So I'm just gonna put it out there for you guys. So there is about 3 or 4 ways that it shows, but let's just get into it. So the first one is confusion, and it's saying basically, well, since biologically your mother is your caregiver, so, or your primary caretaker, so when a mother's actions or emotions are not there for the child, it makes the child feel that they're not, like, as if the mother doesn't love them, they're not unique to her, and they're not special. And then the child starts to feel as if they can rely on the mother as a source of comfort, of love, of nurturing, pretty much. And because of that, when the child starts to acknowledge that he's not receiving that, he starts to cut off the pieces that longs for that. So this is part 2, and the next level is difficulty to access or label emotions. So this is explained that basically when a young boy, or boy in general, baby, any adolescent, when a baby learns or notices that he wants comfort from the mom, pretty much. So when he gets this, like when he understands, like, he's hurt, and he's like, okay, I'm hurt, crying, need my mom. And the mother usually is like there to obviously take care of him. He learns that, he can trust the mother to be there for him. But when the opposite is done and the mother is not there, he learns to kind of shut this down and act like it's fine. If my mom's not here, then it's okay. But he is indeed feeling sad, lost, and disappointed because the person he has grown to understand is there to nurture him is not. And either because the mother is physically not there, or because the mother lacks the emotion to nurture him. Now, those feelings therefore turn into anger. So, that kind of transitions into their self-esteem. So this is explained as the child starts to basically feel like, who am I? And usually a mom's nurturing develops in a child, or a boy, a sense of self-love and self-worth. So when a mom is loving and adoring, it gives the kid the idea that, my mom thinks I'm fantastic. I'm the best boy in the whole world. So when that doesn't happen, the child begins to feel unloved, unworthy, and that affects the self-esteem. So a mom's job is to help you know yourself. So a mother's job, so as I was saying, so the mother's job is to help you know yourself. So the mother wound contributes to having an unknown sense of self and may struggle to know who he is as a person. So not only does the mother's lack of emotion and nurturing affect his self-esteem, that does take me to the next one about how it causes relationship difficulties. So we learn about our relationships in our early relationship, basically your relationship with your mother. So when you have a mother wound and your mother was not nurturing to you emotionally, your emotional needs, you start to feel like you cut them. Like I said, you kind of cut them off. So because of that, you learn not to trust someone to be there for you emotionally. Also, you struggle to commit, and you keep seeking for the next best thing. And you may also find faults in your partners. And if you do manage to end up with someone in long-term relationships, you most likely find someone who is emotionally detached, and the relationship slowly dwindles down. So basically, it's explained like, how I'm going to explain it is that because, if you happen to have a mom who was not emotionally available for you, you start to seek it in your relationships. But then you seem to find flaws in that. And you just are like, look, I'm going to keep searching for someone that gives me that love that my mommy would give me. But then you find that no one can. So, and if you do, like let's say, like I just said, if you find someone and you end up being in a long-term relationship with them, you usually find someone who's detached, someone who is also emotionally unavailable, and that does not work out for anyone in the long run. So I feel like the best possible thing for this is to kind of reparent yourself. Try to understand where those emotions stem from. Yeah, so like I said, try to find out where those emotions are coming from, and try to understand also that maybe your mother could not nurture you emotionally because even her own emotions are kind of tied up, or it's not that they're not there, they're kind of tied up. Maybe she came from a parent that wasn't emotionally available for her. Maybe she couldn't trust her own mother. Maybe, as I said, cycles in life, generational things do weigh heavily on you, and they caused you to make decisions that you ultimately probably would not make if you knew better. So I guess, if you happen to find yourself resonating with this mother wound as a man, as I said, give yourself time to understand where it all comes from. And know that if you do have an opportunity to, really sit with yourself and think that, okay, if my mother was not there for me emotionally, why? And if you can have this conversation with your mother, and I think a lot of healing yourself and your parents is coming to a point of understanding that your parent is human, just like you, and they make mistakes just like you, and they probably don't understand why. And if you figure it out and you have the opportunity to speak with your parent, that you do, and understand that your self-worth and your self-love is something that you can work on. And once you come to understand that, your relationships will get better. This is all seems to be tied to the self-esteem, the self-worth. And when you lack those things, you accept a lot of things you probably wouldn't or shouldn't. But loving yourself is very vital and very helpful to you in the long run. Everyone is worthy of love, and everyone is worthy of giving and receiving in the most positive way. It is tough, but it is worth it in the end. So, yeah. Gotta come to terms with these things. They're not unfixable.